Hey adventurers! We're back outside, as you can obviously see, and we're going to be doing our September wrap-up, which is a switch. We're switching from TBRs to wrap-ups, and we're going to try this. See how it works for us.
When we do TBRs, we never finish the TBR, so we decided we'll just not tell the world what our TBR is. We will still have them written out just so we have kind of a guideline for our reading of the month, but we're hoping that the wrap-ups will be better for ourselves because we'll be talking about what we read, not what we want to read but never get read. So, all right.
Let's jump right in. The first book that I wrapped up, I actually DNF'd, and that was The Way of Shadows by Brent Weeks. I got about halfway through The Way of Shadows before I decided to stop it. It wasn't a great book for me. It didn't have a lot of hope, and that's something that I need in a story. It was very dark, and there was no hope that I could find. So that was big. There was some other just setting things, and yeah, there was just a lot about it that wasn't for me.
So the first book in my wrap-up, I guess, is a holdover from what month comes before September? August? August comes before September. So it's a holdover from August, and that is Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins, book 3 of the Hunger Games trilogy, and we're rereading the Hunger Games trilogy right now, and so this was the last one I had to read, so I read it, and I don't know how much I had left even at the beginning of the month, but I didn't have a whole lot left, so I just finished it off. I think most people know at least a little bit about what these are, so I'm not going to talk too much about this book, but I did finish it this month.
The other book I finished this month was Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. This is a sci-fi about dinosaurs, essentially, and yeah, it's the first sci-fi I've read in completion, and I really enjoyed it. I was very interested by the pacing of the plot, and I'm interested to see if that's something specific to sci-fi or specific to this writer or the book. So, yeah, this was my first sci-fi, and I finished that one off.
So the next book that I read, and this was technically not even on the I need to read this month, it was a possibility, and that was The Philosopher's Stone, or as my edition says, The Sorcerer's Stone. Anyways, I didn't have any of the other books except Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and I really didn't want to read that one right after finishing up Mockingjay, so I decided to read this one because this was the only other one that I had. So I read Harry Potter and The Philosopher's Stone, and it was a fun read. It wasn't as fun as the first time, I think probably because the hype of having a new series and having just watched the entire movie series was not fresh in my mind, and so it was kind of a little bit of a different look at it. It was a reread, so I wasn't quite as happy with it as I was the first time, although I did really enjoy it once I got into it.
And the last book on my wrap-up list is The Ruins of Gorland, the first book in the Rangers Apprentice series, which is a fantasy that we are starting. This is our winter read. We're going to be reading as much of this book series as we can this winter, and are pretty excited. I really liked it overall, and yeah, I'm looking forward to reading more out of the series, following these characters some more.
So the last book that I read this month, and I didn't technically finish it this month, or last month. That was Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. It was 12/16 when I finished the book, so midnight 16. So I didn't technically finish it. It was October 1st, but it's still whatever. I started reading it on September 31st. Or 30th, September 30th. So I finished Warbreaker, read almost the entire thing other than the last 5 pages in October, and it was, so it's a fantasy, it's Brandon Sanderson's high fantasy. The magic system is based a little bit around light, and that's, I don't know, I can't really talk too much about it because it's kind of hard to describe what it's all about. So for the first half of it, I felt like it was quite a bit weaker than Mistborn or Stormlight Archives. But this second half, it really felt like it came into its own and started doing its own thing and was actually very, very good. I noticed that there was a couple places where he did info dumps, which he's been known to do info dumps before, so it's not super surprising, but there were a couple of them in here. but I don't hate info dumps as it is, so I didn't hate them in this. Because it was more political, it was a lot more interesting, because I've never read one that's quite so political in that way as this one. And so that was fun to read. I did end up really enjoying this. I don't know what I'd rate it. I haven't gone through and put it into our outline yet, story elements outline yet, but I very much enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to reading more Sanderson, because I will be able to soon. So that's it for our wrap up of September. It wasn't actually a horrible reading month for me, I guess. I got a lot read, I feel like, even though not as much as I would have liked. Anyways, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. What books did you read in the month of September? Let us know in the comments down below, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Stay warm.